Maya Chen stood frozen in the doorway of Rosewood Country Club's private dining room, her sister's laughter echoing off the mahogany walls like broken glass. The words Victoria had just spoken to their parents' friends hung in the air like poison. Maya makes, what, 35,000? That's what her housekeeper earns. What happened next would flip their entire family dynamic upside down and change Maya's life forever. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. Growing up as Victoria Chen's younger sister was like being a shadow cast by a supernova. Victoria was everything their parents had dreamed of: tall, elegant, effortlessly charming, and blessed with the kind of natural confidence that drew people like moths to flame. At 29, she worked as a pharmaceutical sales representative, driving a company BMW and wearing designer suits that cost more than Maya's monthly rent. Maya, 3 years younger, had always been the studious one. While Victoria charmed her way through high school and college, Maya buried herself in books, earning a degree in digital marketing from Portland State University. She'd graduated summa cum laude, but somehow that achievement had been overshadowed by Victoria's announcement of her engagement to Bradley Winters, a surgeon whose family owned half of Seattle's medical district. Their childhood home in Bellevue reflected their father's success as a real estate developer and their mother's refined taste. David Chen had built Chen Properties from a single rental unit into a portfolio worth millions, while their mother, Helen, managed their social calendar with the precision of a military operation. The family lived in a world of charity galas, country club memberships, and vacation homes, a world where success was measured in visible wealth and social connections. Maya had never quite fit that mold. While Victoria effortlessly networked at cocktail parties, Maya preferred analyzing marketing data and crafting digital campaigns. While Victoria collected luxury handbags, Maya invested her money in online courses and professional development. Their parents loved both daughters, but Victoria's path was one they understood, one that reflected their own values and aspirations. After college, Maya had taken a position at Bright Wave Marketing, a small but growing digital agency in downtown Portland. The salary was modest, $35,000 a year, but the learning opportunities were invaluable. She worked under Sarah Martinez, a brilliant strategist who believed in nurturing talent and pushing creative boundaries. Maya threw herself into the work, staying late to perfect campaigns and volunteering for challenging projects that others avoided. The agency specialized in helping small businesses establish their digital presence, and Maya had a particular gift for social media strategy. She could look at a struggling bakery or local gym and envision exactly how to tell their story online, how to connect with their ideal customers, and how to build genuine community engagement. Her campaigns consistently delivered results that exceeded client expectations, earning her recognition within the small but tight-knit digital marketing community in Portland. But Victoria saw none of that. To her, Maya was simply her little sister who worked at some tiny company making barely enough to afford her studio apartment in Southeast Portland. The contrast between their lifestyles was stark and undeniable. Victoria's Belltown high-rise overlooked Elliott Bay, while Maya's windows faced a parking lot. Victoria dined at Michelin-starred restaurants, while Maya cooked budget meals on her single-burner stove. The family dynamics became especially apparent during their monthly dinners at Rosewood Country Club, a tradition their mother had established to maintain family connections. Maya dreaded these gatherings, knowing they would inevitably involve detailed discussions of Victoria's latest achievements, her expanding social circle, and her upcoming wedding plans. Maya's work was usually dismissed with polite but disinterested questions that never went deeper than surface pleasantries. 3 months before the infamous dinner that would change everything, Maya had been working on a campaign for Summit Outdoor Gear, a startup founded by two college friends who made sustainable hiking equipment. The company had limited resources, but Maya believed in their mission and their products.
She crafted a comprehensive digital strategy that included influencer partnerships, content marketing, and targeted social media advertising. The campaign exceeded every expectation. Summit's social media following grew by 300% in 2 months. Their online sales tripled. Industry publications began featuring their story, and larger retailers started reaching out about carrying their products. The success caught the attention of several major agencies, including Titan Creative, one of the most prestigious marketing firms on the West Coast. Maya received an email from Rebecca Thompson, Titan's creative director, requesting a meeting to discuss her work on the Summit campaign. The email arrived on a Tuesday morning while Maya was reviewing analytics for another client, and she had to read it 3 times before the words sank in. Titan Creative represented Fortune 500 companies, managed multi-million-dollar campaigns, and was known for recruiting only the most exceptional talent. The meeting took place the following week in Titan's glass-walled conference room overlooking Pioneer Courthouse Square. Rebecca, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s with silver-streaked hair, reviewed Maya's portfolio with the intensity of a jeweler examining diamonds. She asked probing questions about strategy, creative process, and long-term vision. Maya answered with confidence born from genuine passion for her work, explaining her philosophy of authentic storytelling and data-driven decision-making. The conversation lasted 2 hours, far longer than the scheduled 30 minutes. Rebecca seemed impressed not just by Maya's results, but by her analytical approach and creative instincts. She mentioned that Titan was expanding their digital division and looking for strategists who could bridge the gap between traditional marketing and emerging platforms. Before leaving, Rebecca handed Maya her business card and said, "We'll be in touch soon. What you've accomplished at Summit demonstrates exactly the kind of innovative thinking we value." Maya walked back to her car, feeling like she was floating, hardly daring to hope that this could lead to the career breakthrough she'd been working toward. The opportunity felt surreal, partly because Maya had never imagined herself at a company like Titan. She'd built her career at smaller agencies, working with local businesses and startups. The idea of managing campaigns for multinational corporations, of having budgets that exceeded her current annual salary, seemed like stepping into a different universe entirely. But she also knew she was ready for the challenge. 2.5 years at Brightwave had taught her everything from campaign strategy to client management to team leadership. She'd successfully managed campaigns across multiple industries, from healthcare to retail to technology.
Her success rate was remarkable. Her client retention was nearly perfect, and her innovative approaches had been featured in several marketing publications. Sarah Martinez had been incredibly supportive when Maya mentioned the Titan opportunity. Rather than being disappointed about potentially losing her star employee, Sarah expressed genuine excitement about Maya's career prospects. "You've outgrown what we can offer here," she said during their private conversation. "Titan can give you resources and challenges that will push you to the next level. I'll miss working with you, but this is exactly what should happen when someone has your talent." The validation from Sarah meant everything to Maya. As her mentor and boss, Sarah had guided Maya through the complexities of client relationships, creative development, and strategic planning. Her endorsement carried weight that went beyond mere professional courtesy. It represented recognition from someone whose opinion Maya deeply respected. While waiting to hear back from Titan, Maya continued her work at Brightwave with renewed energy. She knew that whatever happened, the meeting had confirmed that her skills and accomplishments were being noticed by industry leaders. The possibility of working for Titan made every current project feel like preparation for something larger, an opportunity to prove herself on a bigger stage. The family dinner where everything changed was scheduled for the 3rd Sunday of the month, a date their mother had marked on everyone's calendars months in advance. This particular dinner was meant to celebrate Victoria's recent promotion to regional sales manager and to discuss wedding planning with the extended family. Maya drove from Portland to Bellevue in her 7-year-old Honda Civic, the radio providing background noise as she mentally prepared for another evening of being the supporting character in Victoria's ongoing success story. Rosewood Country Club occupied prime real estate overlooking Lake Washington, its manicured grounds and imposing clubhouse representing generations of Seattle's business elite.
Maya had attended countless family functions here, from birthday celebrations to holiday parties, each event reinforcing her position as the family member who didn't quite belong to this world of wealth and status. She arrived precisely on time, knowing their mother's feelings about punctuality, and found her family gathered in the club's main dining room with several family friends. Victoria commanded attention at one end of the table, her engagement ring catching the light as she gestured while telling a story about a challenging client. Bradley sat beside her, nodding appreciatively, and occasionally adding details that showcased his own professional accomplishments. Maya took her usual seat near the middle of the table, greeting everyone politely and listening as the conversation flowed around her. The topics were predictable: real estate market trends, vacation planning, and analysis of various social events. Maya contributed when directly addressed, but mostly observed, noting the social dynamics that had shaped her entire life. Her father dominated discussions about business and investment opportunities, his success in real estate development having earned him respect and influence among their social circle. Her mother guided conversations about family news and social obligations. Her extensive network provided endless material for discussion. Victoria naturally drew attention with her animated personality and impressive career updates. Maya had learned long ago that her role in these gatherings was to be pleasant, supportive, and appropriately grateful for being included. Her work was occasionally mentioned, usually in the context of how nice it was that she'd found something she enjoyed, but never with the seriousness accorded to Victoria's pharmaceutical sales career or Bradley's medical practice. The evening progressed normally until Victoria began discussing her recent promotion and the salary increase that accompanied it. She mentioned figures casually, the way someone might discuss the weather, but the numbers represented more money than Maya had ever imagined earning. "The pharmaceutical industry has been incredibly good to me," Victoria said, smiling at their parents. "Bradley and I are looking at houses in Medina now. With both our incomes, we can afford something really special." Medina was home to some of Seattle's most expensive real estate, where tech billionaires and business moguls maintained estates worth tens of millions of dollars. The casual mention of shopping for homes there highlighted the vast economic gulf between Victoria's life and Maya's modest existence in Portland. Margaret Winters, Bradley's mother and a woman who collected charitable board positions like jewelry, turned to Maya with the kind of polite interest reserved for distant relatives. "And how is your little marketing job going, dear? Still enjoying working with small businesses?" The question was innocent enough, but the phrase "little marketing job" stung in ways Margaret probably never intended. Maya had grown accustomed to having her career minimized, but hearing it described so dismissively in front of the entire table sparked a familiar flame of frustration. "It's going well," Maya replied carefully. "I've been working on some exciting campaigns recently. One of them just caught the attention of Titan Creative." She hadn't planned to mention the Titan opportunity, but something about Margaret's condescending tone prompted her to defend her work. The mention of Titan's name caused a slight shift in the table's attention as several people recognized the agency's reputation. Victoria's expression sharpened with interest. "Titan Creative? The big agency in Portland? What kind of attention?" Maya felt heat rising to her cheeks, suddenly aware that she'd introduced a topic she wasn't prepared to discuss in detail. "They were impressed with a campaign I developed for a client. We had a meeting about potential opportunities." "That's wonderful, honey! What kind of opportunities?" Before Maya could respond, Victoria leaned forward with the kind of sisterly curiosity that often preceded judgment. "What exactly did they say? Did they offer you a position?" The directness of the question put Maya in an uncomfortable position. She hadn't heard back from Rebecca yet, and she didn't want to oversell an opportunity that might not materialize.
But she also felt defensive about having her career prospects interrogated at a family dinner. "They're considering me for their digital strategy team," Maya said, trying to sound confident without making specific claims. "It would be a significant step up in responsibility and compensation." Victoria's eyebrows raised with apparent interest. "How significant are we talking? What would something like that pay?" The question hung in the air with uncomfortable weight. Maya realized that Victoria was asking her to reveal salary information in front of their entire extended family, putting her in an impossible position. If she mentioned specific numbers, she'd be discussing private negotiations. If she deflected, she'd appear evasive or dishonest. "I'm not sure yet," Maya said carefully. "We're still in early discussions."
Victoria's expression shifted to something that looked like concern but felt more like skepticism. Maya, can I give you some sisterly advice? You should be realistic about what companies like that actually offer to people without extensive experience. They might be interested in your work, but the compensation probably won't be dramatically different from what you're making now. The comment was delivered with apparent kindness, but it carried an unmistakable message about Maya's place in the professional hierarchy. Victoria was suggesting that Maya's excitement about Titan was naive, that someone with her background and experience shouldn't expect too much from such conversations. David Chen, their father, nodded thoughtfully. Victoria has a point. These big agencies often bring people in at entry-level positions, regardless of their previous experience. They have their own way of doing things. Maya felt her face burning with embarrassment and frustration. Her family was essentially telling her in front of their friends that her career prospects were limited and her optimism was misguided. The dismissal felt particularly cruel because it was wrapped in the language of protective concern. I understand that, Maya said, her voice tight with controlled emotion. But I think my track record speaks for itself. The summit campaign generated results that exceeded industry benchmarks. Victoria smiled with the patient expression reserved for correcting someone's misconceptions. I'm sure you did great work, Maya, but there's a difference between managing campaigns for small startups and handling major corporate accounts. The skill sets aren't necessarily transferable. The suggestion that Maya's experience wasn't real marketing work hit like a physical blow. Victoria was essentially arguing that everything Maya had accomplished at Brightwave was amateur hour compared to serious professional marketing. The comment revealed how little Victoria understood about Maya's actual work and how little she valued her sister's expertise. Bradley joined the conversation with apparent helpfulness. The marketing industry is incredibly competitive. Even talented people often find themselves stuck at smaller agencies because the jump to major firms is so difficult to make. Margaret Winters nodded sagely. It's wonderful that Maya has found work she enjoys. Not everyone needs to chase the biggest opportunities. There's value in being content with a comfortable position. The word comfortable was clearly code for limited. And Maya realized that their entire family social circle saw her career as a pleasant hobby rather than serious professional ambition. They were essentially patting her on the head while suggesting she shouldn't aspire beyond her current station. Victoria continued, her voice taking on the instructional tone she used when explaining complex pharmaceutical concepts to doctors. Maya, you're making, what, $35,000? That's perfectly respectable for your level of experience and the size of companies you work with. But places like Titan typically start their junior positions around that same range. You might not see the kind of salary increase you're hoping for. The revelation of Maya's salary in front of the entire table created a moment of uncomfortable silence. Maya felt exposed and humiliated, her financial situation laid bare for everyone to analyze and judge. The amount sounded particularly modest when discussed at a table where Victoria casually mentioned six-figure earnings and Bradley talked about seven-figure home purchases. Margaret Winters tilted her head sympathetically. $35,000? That's what our housekeeper earns. Though, of course, marketing and housekeeping are completely different fields. The comparison to domestic help was delivered with apparent innocence, but it landed like a slap across Maya's face. Margaret was essentially equating Maya's professional career with manual labor, reducing years of education and skill development to the same level as cleaning houses. Victoria laughed, the sound bright and careless. Mom would die if she knew her daughter was making housekeeper money.
Remember how proud she was when I broke six figures? The laughter from around the table felt like a physical assault. Maya sat frozen, watching her family and their friends find humor in her financial situation. The casual cruelty of the moment was breathtaking in its completeness. Victoria had just publicly humiliated her sister, compared her salary to domestic work, and done it all while laughing. Helen Chen, their mother, looked uncomfortable, but didn't immediately intervene. David Chen seemed oblivious to the emotional undercurrents, already moving the conversation towards safer topics. But Maya felt like she was drowning in shame and rage, her face burning with embarrassment while her heart pounded with fury. The rest of the dinner passed in a blur of forced normalcy. Maya mechanically participated in conversations about wedding planning and vacation schedules, but part of her remained frozen in that moment of public humiliation. Victoria's laughter echoed in her mind, along with Margaret's casual comparison to housekeeping work. When the evening finally ended, Maya hugged everyone goodbye with brittle smiles and promises to stay in touch. Victoria embraced her with apparent warmth, seemingly unaware of the damage she'd inflicted. "Don't take anything I said the wrong way," she whispered. "I just want you to be realistic about your expectations." Maya drove back to Portland in a state of numb shock, replaying the dinner conversation in her mind. The cruelty hadn't been intentional malice, but something perhaps worse: casual dismissal of her worth and potential. Victoria genuinely believed that Maya's career was limited, her aspirations unrealistic, and her accomplishments insignificant. The drive home became a journey of crystallizing resolve. By the time Maya reached her apartment, something fundamental had shifted inside her. The humiliation had burned away any remaining desire to seek her family's approval or acceptance. She would prove them wrong, not out of spite, but out of necessity. She would build a career that commanded respect, not because she needed their validation, but because she refused to accept their limitations. The next morning, Maya sat at her kitchen table with her laptop and a cup of coffee, crafting a follow-up email to Rebecca Thompson at Titan Creative. She outlined additional campaign results, included testimonials from satisfied clients, and demonstrated her understanding of the challenges facing Titan's potential clients. The email was professional, confident, and strategically focused on value proposition rather than personal circumstances. The response came within hours. Rebecca wanted to schedule a second meeting, this time with Titan's executive team. She mentioned that they were impressed with Maya's strategic thinking and wanted to discuss a specific role that had just opened up: senior digital strategist, with responsibility for major client accounts and a starting salary of $75,000. Maya read the email 3 times before the numbers sunk in. $75,000 was more than double her current salary. It represented validation of her skills, recognition of her potential, and, most importantly, proof that Victoria's assessment of her career prospects had been completely wrong. The second interview took place the following week in Titan's executive conference room. Maya faced a panel of 5 senior leaders, including Rebecca, the chief creative officer, and 2 vice presidents. They grilled her on strategic methodology, creative problem solving, and her vision for digital marketing's future role in integrated campaigns. Maya answered every question with confidence born from genuine expertise and passion for her work. She presented case studies from her most successful campaigns, explained her analytical approach to audience development, and outlined innovative strategies for emerging platforms. The panel's questions became increasingly sophisticated, moving from basic qualifications to complex strategic scenarios. Near the end of the interview, Rebecca asked about Maya's long-term career goals. Maya spoke honestly about her desire to work with larger clients, to manage bigger budgets, and to push creative boundaries in ways that smaller agencies couldn't support. She mentioned her interest in mentoring junior team members and contributing to Titan's reputation for innovative thinking. The executive team exchanged glances that suggested positive impressions. The chief creative officer, a man named Jonathan Hayes, leaned forward with apparent interest. "Maya, your portfolio demonstrates exceptional talent, and your strategic thinking aligns perfectly with our company vision. We'd like to offer you the senior digital strategist position." Maya felt her heart racing as Jonathan outlined the role's responsibilities, compensation package, and growth opportunities. The position came with a $75,000 base salary, performance bonuses that could add another $20,000 annually, comprehensive benefits, and 3 weeks of paid vacation. More importantly, she would lead digital strategy for several major clients and manage a team of 3 junior strategists. The offer was everything Maya had hoped for and more. It represented not just financial advancement, but professional recognition at the highest levels of her industry. She would work with Fortune 500 companies, manage million-dollar campaigns, and contribute to strategies that shaped national brands. Maya accepted the offer immediately, her voice steady, but the emotional earthquake happening inside her chest was real. Walking back to her car after the interview, Maya felt like she was moving through a different world than the one she'd inhabited that morning. The same Portland streets looked brighter, the same sky seemed more expansive. She had just transformed her entire professional trajectory in a single conversation. The call to Sarah Martinez was both exciting and bittersweet. Sarah expressed genuine enthusiasm about Maya's opportunity, while acknowledging her own disappointment about losing such a valuable team member. They spent an hour discussing transition plans, client handoffs, and the timeline for Maya's departure.
Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you're enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story.
I'm proud of you, Sarah said as their conversation concluded. You've earned this opportunity through hard work and talent. Titan is lucky to have you. The words meant more to Maya than Sarah probably realized. After the humiliation at Rosewood Country Club, hearing professional validation from someone she respected helped restore her confidence and sense of self-worth. Maya spent the next 2 weeks tying up loose ends at Brightwave, ensuring smooth transitions for all her clients, and preparing detailed documentation for her replacement. She also researched Titan's current clients, studying their brands, challenges, and market positions. The preparation felt crucial. She wanted to hit the ground running and prove that their investment in her was justified. Her first day at Titan arrived with a mixture of excitement and nervous energy. The agency's headquarters occupied 3 floors of a downtown high-rise, its modern offices reflecting the company's status as an industry leader. Maya's workspace included a corner desk with city views, dual monitors, and access to research databases that cost more than her previous annual salary. Rebecca introduced Maya to her team. Jennifer, a brilliant data analyst fresh from graduate school, Marcus, a creative strategist with expertise in emerging platforms, and Priya, a content specialist who understood brand voice better than anyone Maya had ever met. Leading this team represented a significant step up in responsibility and leadership experience. Maya's first major assignment involved developing a comprehensive digital strategy for Cascade Foods, a regional grocery chain looking to expand into new markets. The project required analyzing demographic data, competitive landscapes, and consumer behavior patterns across 3 different states. The complexity and scope exceeded anything Maya had tackled at Brightwave. She threw herself into the work with characteristic intensity, staying late to master new analytics tools and creative platforms. The learning curve was steep, but Maya's foundation of strategic thinking and client management served her well. Within 2 weeks, she had developed a preliminary strategy that impressed both her team and Titan's senior leadership. The Cascade Foods presentation took place in Titan's main conference room, with the client's executive team participating via video conference from their headquarters in Sacramento. Maya led the presentation, outlining a multi-platform approach that would establish Cascade's brand identity in new markets while building customer loyalty in existing territories. The strategy included targeted social media campaigns, influencer partnerships, content marketing initiatives, and geo-targeted advertising across multiple platforms. Maya presented detailed timelines, budget allocations, and projected outcomes based on comparable market expansions. The client asked probing questions about implementation logistics and measurement methodologies, all of which Maya answered with confidence and specificity. The presentation concluded with unanimous approval from Cascade's executive team. They authorized the full campaign budget and requested an accelerated timeline for implementation. Rebecca whispered, "Congratulations!" as the client team signed off the video call, and Jonathan Hayes personally thanked Maya for exceptional strategic work. The success of the Cascade presentation established Maya's reputation within Titan and caught the attention of the agency's most important clients. Word spread that the new senior digital strategist delivered results that exceeded expectations while maintaining the strategic sophistication that Titan's reputation demanded. Within her first month, Maya was assigned to 3 additional major accounts, including a national retail chain and a technology startup preparing for IPO. Each project brought new challenges and learning opportunities, pushing Maya to expand her skills while building confidence in her abilities at this elevated level. Her success at Titan created ripple effects throughout her personal life as well. The substantial salary increase allowed Maya to move from her studio apartment to a spacious one-bedroom in the Pearl District, Portland's most desirable neighborhood. She could afford better clothes, nicer restaurants, and professional development courses that would have been impossible on her previous budget. More importantly, the career advancement changed how Maya saw herself and her potential. Working with sophisticated clients on complex campaigns reinforced her belief in her abilities while opening up possibilities she'd never previously considered. She began thinking about long-term career goals, advanced certifications, and leadership roles that would have seemed unrealistic just months earlier. The transformation wasn't lost on her colleagues at Brightwave, who watched Maya's LinkedIn updates with admiration and pride. Sarah Martinez sent congratulatory messages about Maya's campaign successes, and several former colleagues reached out expressing interest in following similar career paths. Maya's newfound confidence extended beyond her professional life into her personal relationships and family dynamics. The humiliation at Rosewood Country Club had initially felt devastating, but it had also provided clarity about her family's limitations and her own determination to exceed their expectations. 3 months into her tenure at Titan, Maya received an unexpected call from her mother about another family dinner at Rosewood Country Club. Helen Chen's tone carried unusual notes of excitement and concern as she explained that Victoria had news to share and wanted the whole family together. Maya agreed to attend the dinner, curious about Victoria's announcement and interested in observing her family's dynamics from her new perspective as a successful professional. The drive from Portland to Bellevue felt different this time, less like a journey towards judgment and more like a visit to a world she'd outgrown. She arrived at Rosewood Country Club wearing a tailored navy dress she'd purchased at Nordstrom, her appearance reflecting both professional success and newfound confidence. The transformation was subtle but unmistakable. Maya carried herself differently, spoke with greater authority, and projected the kind of quiet competence that comes from proven achievement. Victoria greeted her with apparent warmth, though Maya detected something uncertain in her sister's expression. The usual family friends were present, including Margaret Winters, who complimented Maya's appearance while asking vague questions about her work situation. The conversation flowed along familiar patterns until Victoria stood to make her announcement. Her expression was uncharacteristically serious as she explained that Pinnacle Pharmaceuticals, her employer for the past 5 years, was restructuring their sales division and eliminating several regional positions, including hers. The news sent shockwaves through the family gathering. Victoria had built her identity around her pharmaceutical career, and the sudden job loss represented more than financial disruption. It threatened the lifestyle and status that defined her place within their social circle. "It's temporary, of course," Victoria said quickly, her voice carrying forced optimism. But Maya recognized the strain in Victoria's smile and the defensive edge in her voice. Job losses at Victoria's level weren't easily replaced, especially in an industry experiencing widespread consolidation. The regional sales position that had provided Victoria's impressive income and company benefits was becoming increasingly rare.
David Chen immediately began discussing connections and potential opportunities, his protective instincts engaging as he searched for ways to help his elder daughter navigate this career crisis. Helen Chen offered emotional support while privately calculating the impact on Victoria's wedding plans and lifestyle maintenance. Maya listened to the family's response with a mixture of sympathy and detachment. She felt genuinely sorry for Victoria's professional setback, while also noting how differently this career disruption was being treated compared to her own previous struggles.
Victoria's job loss was framed as a temporary obstacle, while Maya's entire career had been dismissed as insignificant. The conversation eventually turned to Maya's work, prompted by Margaret Winter's polite inquiry about whether she was still at that little marketing company. Maya smiled as she explained her transition to Titan Creative, her role as senior digital strategist, and her recent campaign successes. The response was noticeably different from previous family reactions to her career updates. Jonathan Hayes's name was recognized by several people at the table, and Titan's reputation commanded respect even among this status-conscious group. Maya's salary, while not reaching Victoria's previous pharmaceutical earnings, represented a substantial professional achievement. Victoria listened to Maya's career update with an expression that shifted from surprise to something approaching envy. The sister, who had been earning housekeeper money just months earlier, was now working for one of the region's most prestigious agencies, managing high-profile campaigns and earning professional recognition. "That's wonderful, Maya," Victoria said with careful politeness. "Titan Creative has such a strong reputation. You must be learning so much." The comment was superficially supportive, but carried subtle implications about Maya's inexperience and the presumed learning curve at her new position. Victoria was still positioning herself as the more knowledgeable professional despite her current unemployment. Maya decided not to challenge Victoria's implicit condescension, instead focusing on answering their parents' questions about her work and future prospects. She mentioned the possibility of additional promotions within Titan's growing digital division and her interest in pursuing advanced certifications in emerging marketing technologies. As the dinner progressed, Maya became aware of a fundamental shift in family dynamics. Victoria's job loss had disrupted the established hierarchy, while Maya's success had challenged assumptions about their respective capabilities and potential. The sister, who had been dismissed as naive and limited, was now the one with stable employment and growing professional prospects. The evening concluded with awkward hugs and promises to stay in touch, but Maya sensed that something had permanently changed in her relationship with Victoria and their family's perception of both sisters' trajectories. Victoria's unemployment was temporary, but the revelation of Maya's capabilities and ambition would have lasting effects on their family narrative. Driving back to Portland, Maya reflected on the strange reversal of circumstances that had occurred since Victoria's cruel laughter at the previous dinner. The humiliation that had felt so devastating at the time had actually catalyzed the career advancement that transformed her life. Victoria's casual dismissal of Maya's potential had been proven spectacularly wrong. But Maya's satisfaction came less from Victoria's downfall than from her own growth and achievement. The job at Titan represented validation of her talents and proof of her potential. But more importantly, it had given her confidence to pursue opportunities she'd never previously imagined possible. 2 weeks after the family dinner, Maya received an unexpected email that would test her newfound confidence and create an opportunity for the ultimate role reversal. Rebecca Thompson forwarded a message from Pinnacle Pharmaceutical's marketing director requesting a meeting about potential consulting services for their upcoming brand repositioning campaign. Maya recognized Pinnacle as Victoria's former employer, the company that had recently eliminated her sister's position during their restructuring. The pharmaceutical giant was apparently seeking outside marketing expertise to navigate their transition and rebuild their brand image following negative publicity about their sales practices. The irony was unmistakable. Victoria's former employer was potentially seeking services from the sister whose career Victoria had publicly mocked and dismissed. Maya would have the opportunity to work with the company that had defined Victoria's professional identity, potentially earning more from a single consulting contract than Victoria had made in months of pharmaceutical sales. Rebecca scheduled the meeting for the following week, explaining that Pinnacle was looking for a senior strategist who could develop comprehensive digital campaigns targeting both healthcare professionals and consumer markets. The project scope was substantial, involving brand research, competitive analysis, and multi-platform campaign development over 6 months. Maya prepared for the Pinnacle meeting with the same intensity she brought to all client presentations, but this project carried additional emotional weight.
Success would represent not just professional achievement, but symbolic victory over the family dynamics that had shaped her entire life. The Pinnacle headquarters occupied a gleaming office tower in downtown Seattle, its lobby decorated with awards and recognition for pharmaceutical innovations. Maya arrived 30 minutes early, using the time to review her presentation materials and center herself for what could be a career-defining opportunity. The meeting included Pinnacle's marketing director, brand manager, and communications lead, all of whom expressed familiarity with Titan's reputation and curiosity about Maya's specific experience with healthcare marketing. Maya acknowledged her limited pharmaceutical background while emphasizing her expertise in digital strategy and brand repositioning for companies facing public relations challenges. The presentation lasted 90 minutes, with Maya outlining a comprehensive approach to rebuilding Pinnacle's brand image through authentic storytelling, transparent communication, and strategic partnerships with healthcare influencers. Pinnacle's executive team asked detailed questions about implementation timelines, measurement methodologies, and budget requirements. Maya answered each inquiry with confidence and specificity, drawing on her experience with complex client challenges at Titan. The pharmaceutical executives seemed impressed with both her strategic thinking and her understanding of their unique market position. The meeting concluded with Pinnacle's marketing director requesting a formal proposal within 1 week, specifying budget parameters that exceeded Maya's most optimistic expectations. The potential contract was worth more than twice her annual salary at Brightwave, representing the kind of professional opportunity that validated her decision to pursue career advancement aggressively. Maya spent the following week developing a comprehensive proposal that outlined every aspect of the brand repositioning campaign. She collaborated with her Titan team to create detailed timelines, budget allocations, and success metrics that demonstrated their understanding of Pinnacle's challenges and goals. The proposal submission felt like a culmination of everything Maya admired about strategic marketing, client relationships, and professional presentation. Whether or not Pinnacle accepted their bid, the process had proven her ability to compete for major contracts with sophisticated clients facing complex challenges. Pinnacle's response arrived 3 days later, with news that would forever change Maya's relationship with her family and her sister. The pharmaceutical company had accepted Titan's proposal and was awarding them the complete brand repositioning contract, with Maya designated as lead strategist and primary client contact. The contract included provisions for on-site work at Pinnacle's headquarters, meaning Maya would spend significant time in Seattle over the next 6 months. She would be working directly with the executive team that had overseen Victoria's employment and termination, gaining insider knowledge of the company culture and decision-making processes that had shaped her sister's career. More significantly, the contract established Maya as a senior consultant to one of the pharmaceutical industry's major players, a role that commanded respect and recognition throughout the sector.
Her success with Pinnacle would create opportunities for additional pharmaceutical clients, potentially establishing her as a specialist in healthcare marketing. The irony of the situation wasn't lost on Maya as she signed the contract documents. The sister who had been mocked for her modest salary and dismissed career prospects was now earning consulting fees that exceeded Victoria's previous pharmaceutical income. The family dynamic that had positioned Victoria as the successful professional and Maya as the struggling younger sister had been completely reversed. Maya's first day of on-site work at Pinnacle coincided with the company's quarterly all-staff meeting, an event designed to boost morale and communicate strategic direction following the recent restructuring. As the new lead marketing consultant, Maya was invited to attend and observe the company culture she would be helping to reshape. The meeting took place in Pinnacle's main auditorium, with hundreds of employees gathering to hear presentations from senior leadership about the company's future direction and recovery strategy. Maya sat in the consultant section, wearing the kind of professional attire that marked her as an outside expert, rather than a company employee. Halfway through the meeting, Maya noticed a familiar figure entering through the side door and taking a seat in the back row. Victoria had apparently found employment with Pinnacle, most likely in a sales or business development role that placed her significantly lower in the company hierarchy than her previous regional management position. Victoria's presence at the meeting created an unexpected opportunity for the ultimate demonstration of how thoroughly their positions had reversed. Maya was sitting in the consultant section as a respected outside expert, while Victoria was relegated to the back row as a new employee still establishing her place within the company structure.
The meeting concluded with an introduction of new team members and strategic partners, including Maya's presentation of Titan's role in Pinnacle's brand repositioning effort. Maya stood before the assembled staff, outlining the campaign strategy and her team's approach to rebuilding the company's reputation and market position. From her position at the podium, Maya could see Victoria's shocked expression as her younger sister addressed hundreds of pharmaceutical professionals as a senior marketing consultant. The role reversal was complete and undeniable. Maya had become the expert while Victoria struggled to rebuild her career from a diminished position. After the presentation, Maya was surrounded by Pinnacle employees expressing interest in the upcoming campaign and asking questions about implementation strategies. The positive response confirmed that her approach resonated with the company's workforce and created enthusiasm for the brand repositioning effort. Victoria approached as the crowd dispersed, her expression carefully neutral despite the obvious emotional impact of witnessing her sister's professional transformation. The conversation was brief, but loaded with unspoken recognition of how completely their relationship had changed. "Congratulations on the contract," Victoria said with forced professionalism. "It's quite an achievement for someone with your background." Maya recognized the subtle condescension in Victoria's phrasing, the implication that her success was surprising given her supposed limitations, but the comment carried no sting now that Maya had proven her capabilities beyond any doubt. "Thank you," Maya replied simply. "I'm excited to work with Pinnacle's team. The company has tremendous potential for brand growth." The exchange was polite but distant, reflecting the new reality of their relationship. Victoria could no longer dismiss Maya's career as insignificant or treat her as the struggling younger sister. Maya had achieved recognition and success that commanded respect even from family members who had previously doubted her potential. Over the following months, Maya's work at Pinnacle exceeded every expectation and established her reputation as one of the region's most effective healthcare marketing strategists. The brand repositioning campaign generated positive media coverage, improved employee morale, and attracted new business partnerships that helped stabilize the company's market position. Maya's success with Pinnacle led to additional pharmaceutical clients and speaking opportunities at industry conferences. Her expertise became sought after by companies facing similar brand challenges, and Titan promoted her to Associate Creative Director with expanded responsibilities and a six-figure salary. The transformation was complete. Maya had evolved from a struggling marketing coordinator earning housekeeper money to a senior creative executive commanding respect throughout her industry. The family dinner where Victoria had humiliated her with cruel laughter had ultimately catalyzed the career advancement that proved Victoria's assessment spectacularly wrong. But perhaps the most satisfying aspect of Maya's success was that it had been achieved through genuine talent and hard work, rather than luck or connections. Every promotion, every successful campaign, and every client victory had been earned through skill, dedication, and strategic thinking that validated her professional capabilities. The final chapter of their role reversal occurred at a Pinnacle company party celebrating the success of Maya's brand repositioning campaign. Victoria, now working as a junior business development associate, watched from across the room as Maya was recognized for her contributions to the company's recovery and growth. Maya's speech to the assembled staff was gracious and professional, acknowledging the collaborative effort while outlining future opportunities for brand expansion and market growth. Her confidence and authority were unmistakable, reflecting the journey from dismissed younger sister to respected industry expert. As the evening concluded, Victoria approached Maya one final time, her expression showing genuine recognition of her sister's achievement and perhaps the first stirrings of respect for capabilities she had never previously acknowledged. "You've really made something of yourself," Victoria said quietly. "I may have underestimated your potential." Maya smiled with the kind of confidence that comes from proven achievement and self-knowledge. "We all have potential, Victoria. The difference is in what we choose to do with it." The conversation was brief, but marked a fundamental shift in their relationship. Victoria could no longer maintain the fiction that Maya was the limited sister with modest aspirations. Maya had demonstrated capabilities that exceeded Victoria's own achievements and established herself as a leader in her chosen field. Maya's journey from family disappointment to industry success hadn't been motivated by revenge or a desire to prove her family wrong. Instead, it had been driven by her determination to achieve her potential regardless of others' limitations or expectations. The humiliation at Rosewood Country Club had simply provided the catalyst for growth that was already waiting to happen. Looking back on the family dinner where everything changed,
Maya realized that Victoria's cruel laughter had actually been a gift. It had forced Maya to confront the reality of her family's perception while providing the motivation necessary to pursue opportunities she might otherwise have avoided. The sister who had mocked Maya's salary was now her subordinate, working for a company where Maya was recognized as a senior consultant and strategic partner. But the true victory wasn't Victoria's diminished status, it was Maya's recognition of her own worth and potential. Maya had learned that family opinions, while painful when negative, weren't determinative of personal potential or professional possibilities.
Her success at Titan and Pinnacle had been achieved despite, rather than because, of family support, proving that determination and talent could overcome even the most discouraging circumstances. The diamonds in her ears, symbolic of another sister's journey towards self-worth, caught the light as Maya left the Pinnacle celebration and drove back to her Pearl District apartment. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and opportunities, but tonight she could reflect on the remarkable transformation that had begun with Victoria's laughter at Rosewood Country Club. Sometimes the cruelest moments in our lives become catalysts for the most profound growth. Sometimes the people who doubt us most provide the motivation we need to exceed even our own expectations. And sometimes the journey from humiliation to triumph reveals strength and capabilities we never knew we possessed. Maya's story proved that success isn't determined by family position or initial circumstances, but by our willingness to pursue our potential despite others' limitations. The sister who had mocked her salary had inadvertently launched Maya toward achievements that exceeded both their expectations. Family dynamics can shape us, but they don't have to define us. Professional potential isn't limited by others' perceptions or prejudices, and sometimes the most meaningful victories are the ones we achieve not to prove others wrong, but to prove ourselves right. Maya Chen had learned these lessons through experience, transforming family humiliation into professional triumph and emerging stronger, more confident, and more successful than she had ever imagined possible. The laughter that had once hurt so deeply had ultimately become the sound of her own limitations breaking away. Maya's success with the Pinnacle Pharmaceuticals brand repositioning campaign had exceeded every benchmark established at the project's inception. Within 4 months of implementation, the company's public perception scores had improved by 43% according to independent market research. Employee satisfaction surveys showed dramatic increases in workplace morale and company pride. Most importantly for Pinnacle's bottom line, their stock price had recovered nearly all the ground lost during the sales division scandal that had triggered the restructuring. The pharmaceutical industry trade publications took notice of Pinnacle's remarkable turnaround, with Marketing Healthcare magazine featuring Maya's campaign strategy in a 6-page cover story titled "Digital Transformation in Crisis Communications." The article positioned Maya as an emerging expert in pharmaceutical marketing, describing her approach as innovative, data-driven, and remarkably effective for companies navigating public relations challenges. Rebecca Thompson forwarded Maya the magazine feature with a note expressing her pride in Maya's accomplishments and Titan Creative's growing reputation in healthcare marketing. The agency had received 12 new client inquiries directly attributable to the Pinnacle success story, including approaches from 3 Fortune 500 pharmaceutical companies seeking similar brand repositioning services. Maya's professional trajectory was accelerating beyond her most ambitious projections. Jonathan Hayes had initiated conversations about promoting her to creative director, a role that would place her among Titan's senior leadership team with equity participation and profit-sharing benefits. The position would also require relocating to Titan's headquarters in San Francisco, where she would oversee the agency's entire healthcare marketing division. The opportunity represented everything Maya had ever wanted from her career: creative control, financial security, industry recognition, and the chance to shape marketing strategies for some of the world's most influential companies. But it also meant leaving Portland, the city where she had built her professional foundation and established her independence from family expectations. Maya was contemplating these career decisions when Rebecca scheduled an urgent meeting to discuss an unexpected development with the Pinnacle account. The pharmaceutical company's chief marketing officer, Patricia Hendricks, had requested a private conversation about expanding Titan's role beyond the current brand repositioning contract. The meeting took place in Pinnacle's executive conference room, the same space where Maya had first presented her strategic vision 6 months earlier.
Patricia, a sharp-eyed woman in her 50s with silver hair and an impressive track record in pharmaceutical marketing, greeted Maya with the kind of respect reserved for proven strategic partners. Maya, your work has transformed how this company approaches digital engagement, Patricia began without preamble. The board is so impressed with the campaign results that we're considering a much larger strategic partnership with Titan Creative. Maya listened carefully as Patricia outlined Pinnacle's vision for the future. The company wanted to establish a dedicated marketing innovation lab focused on developing new approaches to pharmaceutical communication and consumer engagement. They were prepared to invest $15 million annually in this initiative, creating a specialized division that would serve as a model for the entire industry. The proposal was extraordinary in both scope and financial commitment. Pinnacle wanted Titan to serve as their exclusive strategic partner, developing cutting-edge campaigns that would position the pharmaceutical company as a leader in authentic, transparent health communication. The contract would require establishing a dedicated team of 15 marketing professionals working exclusively on Pinnacle accounts. "We want you to lead this initiative," Patricia continued, her expression serious and focused. "The position would be Director of Strategic Innovation, reporting directly to me with full autonomy over your team and methodology. The compensation package reflects the importance we place on this role." Maya reviewed the formal offer Patricia handed her, scanning numbers that exceeded her wildest financial projections. The base salary was $150,000 annually, with performance bonuses that could double that amount. The benefits package included stock options, comprehensive health coverage, and a professional development allowance that rivaled those offered by major consulting firms. More significantly, the role would establish Maya as one of the youngest senior executives in pharmaceutical marketing, with responsibility for campaigns that would reach millions of consumers and influence health communication strategies across the industry. The position represented the kind of career advancement that typically required decades of experience and extensive industry connections. Patricia allowed Maya several minutes to process the offer before continuing. This position would require relocating to Seattle and working primarily on-site at Pinnacle headquarters. "We value the collaborative energy that comes from integrated teamwork, and this initiative is too important for remote management." The relocation requirement added complexity to an already momentous decision. Maya would be moving to the same city where Victoria worked, potentially creating frequent professional and personal intersections that could prove challenging for both sisters. But the opportunity was too significant to decline based on family considerations. "I'm honored by your confidence in my abilities," Maya replied carefully. "The scope of this initiative aligns perfectly with my long-term career goals. I'd like to discuss the proposal with Titan's leadership before making a final decision." Patricia nodded approvingly. "Of course, we understand. This represents a major transition. Take the time you need, but please know that this offer reflects our genuine commitment to working exclusively with you on this groundbreaking initiative." The drive back to Portland provided Maya with time to process the magnitude of Patricia's proposal.
Accepting the position would mean leaving Titan Creative, the agency that had provided her breakthrough opportunity and mentored her development as a strategic leader. But it would also establish her as an independent executive with authority over major pharmaceutical marketing initiatives. Rebecca's reaction to the Pinnacle offer was characteristically supportive, despite Titan's obvious loss. She recognized that Maya's career advancement served both her personal interests and the agency's reputation for developing exceptional talent. The pharmaceutical industry would remember that Titan Creative had identified and nurtured the strategic thinking that led to such remarkable client success. "You've earned this opportunity through exceptional work and innovative thinking," Rebecca said, as they discussed the transition timeline. "Pinnacle is offering you the chance to build something entirely new in pharmaceutical marketing. That kind of creative control is rare at your career stage." Jonathan Hayes was equally encouraging when Maya briefed him on Patricia's proposal. He acknowledged disappointment about losing Maya to a client company, but expressed pride in her achievement and confidence in her ability to succeed as a pharmaceutical marketing executive. "The healthcare industry needs more creative leaders who understand both strategic communication and authentic engagement," Jonathan observed. "Your success at Pinnacle will create opportunities for collaboration between our companies and potentially open doors for other Titan professionals." Maya accepted Pinnacle's offer 2 weeks later, negotiating a transition timeline that allowed her to complete current Titan projects while preparing for her new executive responsibilities. The pharmaceutical company agreed to a January start date, providing Maya with time to relocate to Seattle and establish herself in her new role before launching the Marketing Innovation Lab. The announcement of Maya's appointment generated significant attention within the pharmaceutical marketing community. Industry publications featured profiles highlighting her rapid career advancement and innovative approach to health communication. Several marketing conferences extended speaking invitations, recognizing her expertise in digital strategy and crisis communication. Maya's transition to Seattle required finding appropriate housing that reflected her new executive status, while maintaining reasonable proximity to Pinnacle headquarters. She selected a downtown condominium with city views and modern amenities, the kind of sophisticated living space that signaled professional success and personal achievement. The apartment was significantly larger and more luxurious than any residence Maya had previously occupied. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Elliott Bay, hardwood floors gleamed under designer lighting fixtures, and the kitchen featured professional-grade appliances suitable for entertaining business associates. The monthly rent exceeded her previous Portland salary, but Maya's new compensation package made such expenses easily manageable. Moving to Seattle also met potential encounters with Victoria outside the controlled environment of Pinnacle headquarters. The sisters lived in the same metropolitan area for the first time since college, creating possibilities for social and professional interactions that could prove awkward given their dramatically altered circumstances. Maya's first day as Director of Strategic Innovation arrived with a mixture of excitement and nervous energy that reminded her of starting at Titan Creative 18 months earlier. But this time, she was joining Pinnacle as a senior executive with authority over substantial budgets and strategic initiatives that would influence the company's future direction. Patricia Hendricks personally escorted Maya through the executive offices, introducing her to senior leadership as Pinnacle's new Director of Strategic Innovation. The title commanded immediate respect and attention from pharmaceutical executives who recognized the significance of the Marketing Innovation Lab initiative. Maya's corner office reflected her senior status within the company hierarchy. The space featured elegant furnishings, dual monitors, and meeting areas suitable for hosting client presentations and strategic planning sessions. Most importantly, the office's location near Patricia's suite signaled Maya's importance within the executive team structure. Her first major responsibility involved recruiting the 15-person team that would staff the Marketing Innovation Lab. Maya needed to identify professionals with diverse skills spanning digital strategy, content creation, data analysis, graphic design, and pharmaceutical regulation compliance. The hiring process would require several months and establish the foundation for all future innovative marketing initiatives. Maya approached recruitment with the same strategic methodology that had characterized her campaign development at Titan Creative. She researched industry talent, conducted extensive interviews, and carefully evaluated candidates' potential for collaborative creativity and strategic thinking. The team she assembled would reflect her vision for authentic, effective pharmaceutical communication. 3 weeks into her new role, Maya encountered Victoria in Pinnacle's main lobby during the morning rush of employees arriving for work. Victoria was dressed professionally but modestly, her appearance reflecting the junior business development position she had accepted after losing her regional sales role 6 months earlier. The encounter was brief, but loaded with unspoken recognition of their completely reversed circumstances. Maya wore a charcoal suit that marked her executive status, while Victoria's professional attire suggested the careful budgeting required by someone rebuilding their career from a diminished position. "Good morning, Victoria. How are you settling into your new role?" Victoria's response was polite but strained, her discomfort obvious as she addressed the sister who had once earned housekeeper money and now held a senior executive position within the same company. "Good morning, Maya. Congratulations on your appointment. The Innovation Lab sounds like an exciting initiative." The conversation lasted less than 2 minutes, but it established the new dynamic that would characterize their professional relationship. Maya was now Victoria's organizational superior, with authority over marketing strategies that could impact every department within Pinnacle, including Victoria's business development division. Maya's recruitment efforts attracted exceptional talent from across the pharmaceutical and marketing industries. Dr. Jennifer Walsh brought deep clinical research experience and regulatory expertise. Marcus Rodriguez contributed digital advertising knowledge from major technology companies. Sarah Kim offered content strategy experience from healthcare communication agencies. Together, they represented the kind of interdisciplinary collaboration that could revolutionize pharmaceutical marketing. The Marketing Innovation Lab officially launched 6 weeks after Maya's arrival, occupying an entire floor of Pinnacle headquarters with state-of-the-art technology and collaborative workspace design. The facility featured video production capabilities, data visualization walls, and flexible meeting areas that encouraged creative problem-solving and strategic brainstorming. Maya's first major campaign targeted Pinnacle's newest arthritis medication, a treatment that offered significant patient benefits but faced intense competition from established pharmaceutical brands. The challenge required developing communication strategies that would educate healthcare providers while engaging patients through authentic, relatable messaging. The campaign strategy Maya developed integrated clinical data with patient testimonials, physician interviews, and educational content designed to address common questions and concerns about arthritis treatment.
Rather than relying on traditional pharmaceutical advertising approaches, the campaign emphasized transparency, education, and authentic engagement with healthcare communities. Implementation required coordination across multiple departments within Pinnacle, including medical affairs, regulatory compliance, and sales operations. Maya's executive authority proved crucial for securing cooperation from department heads, who might otherwise have resisted innovative approaches that challenged established pharmaceutical marketing conventions. The arthritis campaign launched simultaneously across digital platforms, medical publications, and healthcare provider networks. Initial response metrics exceeded projections by significant margins, with healthcare provider engagement rates surpassing industry benchmarks and patient inquiry volumes reaching levels typically associated with major awareness campaigns. Patricia Hendricks was so impressed with the campaign's early success that she scheduled a presentation to Pinnacle's board of directors, providing Maya with an opportunity to demonstrate the Marketing Innovation Lab's potential impact on company growth and industry leadership. The board presentation took place in Pinnacle's executive boardroom, with 12 senior executives and board members attending to evaluate the Innovation Lab's strategic value. Maya presented comprehensive data showing the arthritis campaign's effectiveness while outlining future initiatives that could establish Pinnacle as the industry leader in authentic health communication. Board members asked detailed questions about scalability, regulatory compliance, and competitive differentiation. Maya answered each inquiry with confidence and specificity, drawing on her experience developing complex marketing strategies for sophisticated healthcare audiences. The presentation concluded with unanimous approval for expanding the Innovation Lab's scope and budget allocation. The board's endorsement positioned Maya as one of Pinnacle's most valued executives, with direct access to senior leadership and authority over increasingly significant marketing initiatives. Her success had exceeded even Patricia's optimistic projections, validating the decision to offer Maya such substantial responsibility and compensation. Maya's rising profile within Pinnacle created opportunities for industry recognition that extended far beyond pharmaceutical marketing. She received invitations to speak at major healthcare conferences, contribute to industry publications, and participate in strategic planning committees for pharmaceutical trade associations. These external activities enhanced Maya's professional reputation while positioning Pinnacle as an innovator in healthcare communication. The company's stock price continued its recovery trajectory, with analyst reports citing improved marketing effectiveness as a key factor in the pharmaceutical company's renewed growth prospects. 6 months into her tenure as Director of Strategic Innovation, Maya received an unexpected email from Victoria, requesting a private meeting to discuss a potential collaboration between the Marketing Innovation Lab and the Business Development Division. The message was professionally worded, but carried undertones of personal awkwardness given their family relationship and dramatically altered professional circumstances.
Maya agreed to the meeting, scheduling it for late afternoon when the Innovation Lab offices would be relatively quiet. She was curious about Victoria's proposal, while also recognizing the complex dynamics that would characterize any professional collaboration between sisters whose relationship had been fundamentally transformed by career circumstances. Victoria arrived precisely on time, carrying a detailed presentation folder and wearing the kind of carefully chosen professional attire that suggested extensive preparation for this crucial conversation. Her demeanor was respectful, but noticeably nervous as she addressed the sister who now held significant authority over her career prospects within Pinnacle. "Thank you for agreeing to meet with me," Victoria began formally. "I wanted to discuss how the Business Development Division might support the Innovation Lab's initiatives while potentially benefiting from your strategic expertise." Maya listened carefully as Victoria outlined her proposal for integrating business development activities with the Marketing Innovation Lab's campaigns. The concept involved coordinating outreach to healthcare providers with the lab's educational content, creating synergies that could improve both marketing effectiveness and sales performance. The proposal demonstrated thoughtful analysis of both divisions' objectives and potential collaborative benefits. Victoria had clearly invested significant time researching the Innovation Lab's methodology and identifying meaningful opportunities for professional partnership. Her presentation reflected the kind of strategic thinking that had once characterized her pharmaceutical sales success. This integration could strengthen relationships with key healthcare providers while providing valuable feedback for refining our communication strategies. I believe the collaboration would benefit both our divisions and advance Pinnacle's overall market position. Maya reviewed Victoria's proposal with the same analytical approach she applied to all strategic initiatives. The concept had genuine merit, particularly the suggestion for coordinating educational outreach with sales relationship management. Such integration could indeed enhance the effectiveness of both marketing and business development activities. "Your analysis identifies important opportunities for operational synergy," Maya replied professionally. "I think we should develop a pilot program to test these integration concepts with a specific therapeutic area. Arthritis medications might be an appropriate starting point given our recent campaign success." Victoria's expression showed relief and gratitude as Maya endorsed the collaborative approach. The sisters were establishing a professional working relationship that transcended their personal history while acknowledging their current organizational roles. Maya's willingness to collaborate demonstrated leadership maturity that prioritized company success over family dynamics. The pilot program launched 2 months later, integrating the Innovation Lab's arthritis campaign with coordinated business development outreach to rheumatology practices and pain management clinics. Victoria led the business development component while reporting regularly to Maya about healthcare provider feedback and market response. The collaboration proved remarkably effective, generating a 28% increase in healthcare provider engagement compared to previous campaigns. More importantly, the integrated approach created a comprehensive feedback loop that informed both marketing strategy refinement and sales relationship management. The success attracted attention from Pinnacle's senior leadership as a model for future cross-divisional initiatives. Patricia Hendricks was so impressed with the collaborative results that she suggested expanding the integration model across multiple therapeutic areas. This expansion would require establishing formal reporting relationships between the Business Development Division and the Marketing Innovation Lab, effectively placing Victoria under Maya's organizational structure for all collaborative initiatives. The prospect of directly supervising Victoria represented the ultimate completion of their professional role reversal. Maya would become Victoria's supervisor for increasingly significant portions of her work responsibilities, creating a formal hierarchy that reflected their dramatically altered career trajectories. Maya approached this expanded supervisory responsibility with professional objectivity, recognizing that effective leadership required focusing on organizational success rather than personal satisfaction. Victoria's collaborative performance had demonstrated professional competence and strategic thinking that deserved recognition regardless of their family history.
The expanded integration program required restructuring portions of Pinnacle's organizational chart to formalize the reporting relationships. Maya was promoted to Senior Director of Strategic Innovation, with authority over all marketing-related business development activities. Victoria's title was adjusted to Business Development Coordinator, Marketing Integration, explicitly placing her within Maya's organizational structure. The formal announcement of these organizational changes appeared in Pinnacle's quarterly newsletter, distributed to all employees and external stakeholders. The publication featured Maya's photograph alongside a description of her expanded responsibilities and the Innovation Lab's remarkable success in improving marketing effectiveness and company performance. Victoria's new reporting relationship appeared briefly within the broader organizational restructuring announcement, but anyone familiar with the company's hierarchy would recognize that she now worked directly under her younger sister's supervision. The role reversal that had begun with cruel laughter at a family dinner was now institutionalized within a major pharmaceutical company's organizational structure. Maya's expanded authority required managing not only Victoria, but also 12 other business development professionals whose activities intersected with Marketing Innovation Lab initiatives.
The supervisory responsibilities tested her leadership skills while providing opportunities to demonstrate the management capabilities that would be essential for future executive advancement. She approached these leadership challenges with the same methodical analysis that had characterized her marketing strategy development. Maya studied management theory, consulted with experienced executives, and developed systematic approaches to team coordination, performance evaluation, and professional development. Her goal was becoming an effective leader rather than simply a successful strategist. Victoria's performance under Maya's supervision exceeded expectations established for the collaborative integration program. She demonstrated thorough understanding of the Innovation Lab's methodology while contributing valuable insights about healthcare provider preferences and market dynamics. Most importantly, Victoria maintained professional objectivity despite the personal complexity of reporting to her younger sister. The working relationship between Maya and Victoria evolved into mutual professional respect that transcended their family history and previous conflicts. Maya recognized Victoria's contributions to collaborative success, while Victoria acknowledged Maya's strategic leadership and exceptional management capabilities. Their professional partnership became a model for effective cross-divisional collaboration within Pinnacle. 9 months after Maya's appointment as Director of Strategic Innovation, Pinnacle's CEO announced that the company had achieved its highest quarterly earnings in 5 years. The earnings report specifically cited improved marketing effectiveness and enhanced healthcare provider relationships as key factors in the pharmaceutical company's remarkable financial recovery. Maya's Innovation Lab was prominently featured in the CEO's presentation to financial analysts, with specific mention of the collaborative integration program that had transformed Pinnacle's approach to market engagement. The recognition positioned Maya as a rising star within the pharmaceutical industry and a potential candidate for senior executive positions at major healthcare companies. Industry observers began speculating about Maya's future career trajectory, with several pharmaceutical trade publications featuring profiles that described her innovative approach to health communication and exceptional leadership capabilities. Executive recruitment firms reached out with inquiries about her interest in chief marketing officer positions at competing pharmaceutical companies. Maya was considering these external opportunities when Patricia Hendricks requested a private meeting to discuss Pinnacle's long-term strategic planning. The conversation took place in Patricia's executive office, with its panoramic views of Seattle's skyline providing an impressive backdrop for what Patricia described as a career-defining discussion. Maya, your work has exceeded every expectation we established for the Innovation Lab initiative, Patricia began with characteristic directness. The board has authorized me to discuss a significant expansion of your responsibilities that would position you as Pinnacle's youngest senior vice president. The promotion would elevate Maya to Pinnacle's executive leadership team with authority over all marketing, communications, and business development activities. The position included equity participation, profit-sharing benefits, and compensation that would place her among the highest-paid pharmaceutical marketing executives in the industry. More significantly,
The role would establish Maya as Patricia's designated successor, positioning her to eventually become Pinnacle's chief marketing officer when Patricia retired in 3 years. The career trajectory represented unprecedented advancement for someone with Maya's experience and age, but her track record of exceptional results justified such confidence in her future potential. This promotion would formalize your authority over all business development activities, including the teams currently managed by regional coordinators, Patricia explained. Victoria's position would report directly to you, along with approximately 40 other business development professionals across her therapeutic divisions. Maya absorbed the magnitude of Patricia's offer while considering its implications for her relationship with Victoria. Accepting a promotion would establish her as Victoria's direct supervisor for all work responsibilities, creating a formal hierarchy that institutionalized their completely reversed professional circumstances. The decision required balancing exceptional career advancement opportunities against the potential complexity of supervising Victoria and managing family dynamics within a professional environment. But Maya had learned that prioritizing family considerations over career development had historically limited her potential and delayed her recognition as a strategic leader. "I'm honored by your confidence in my capabilities," Maya replied after careful consideration. "The scope of this role aligns with my long-term aspirations for executive leadership in pharmaceutical marketing. I'd like to accept the promotion and begin transition planning immediately." Patricia's smile reflected satisfaction with Maya's decision and confidence in her ability to succeed as a senior pharmaceutical executive. The promotion would be announced the following week, establishing Maya as one of the youngest senior vice presidents in Pinnacle's corporate history. The announcement generated significant attention within the pharmaceutical industry, with trade publications featuring front-page stories about Maya's remarkable career advancement and innovative approach to healthcare marketing. Industry analysts described her promotion as recognition of exceptional strategic leadership and a signal of Pinnacle's commitment to transforming pharmaceutical communication. Maya's new executive office occupied the senior leadership floor of Pinnacle headquarters, featuring elegant furnishings, conference facilities, and technology resources appropriate for managing complex pharmaceutical marketing initiatives. The space reflected her elevated status within the company hierarchy while providing the professional environment necessary for senior executive responsibilities. Victoria learned about Maya's promotion through the company-wide email announcement that reached all Pinnacle employees simultaneously. The message included organizational charts showing Victoria's business development coordinator position reporting directly to Senior Vice President Maya Chen, formally establishing their supervisor-subordinate relationship within the pharmaceutical company's structure. The visual representation of their professional hierarchy eliminated any ambiguity about their relative positions within Pinnacle. Maya had become Victoria's organizational superior, with authority over her work assignments, performance evaluations, and career advancement opportunities. The sister who had once mocked Maya's housekeeper money now depended on Maya's professional judgment for her own career success. Maya's first senior leadership team meeting took place in Pinnacle's executive boardroom, where she joined 11 other senior vice presidents to discuss strategic planning and operational coordination. The meeting represented her formal integration into Pinnacle's highest decision-making levels, with authority to influence company direction and resource allocation across multiple divisions. During the meeting, Maya presented her vision for integrated marketing and business development operations, outlining strategies that would leverage collaborative relationships to enhance both educational outreach and sales performance. Her presentation demonstrated sophisticated understanding of pharmaceutical market dynamics while proposing innovative approaches that could establish Pinnacle as an industry leader. The senior leadership team endorsed Maya's strategic vision while authorizing expanded resources for implementing integrated operations across all therapeutic divisions. The approval represented validation of her leadership capabilities and confidence in her ability to deliver exceptional results at the highest organizational levels. Maya's expanded responsibilities required restructuring multiple departments to optimize collaboration and eliminate operational redundancies. The reorganization affected approximately 60 employees, including Victoria, whose role evolved to emphasize integration coordination while maintaining focus on healthcare provider relationship management. The restructuring process tested Maya's leadership skills as she managed complex organizational changes while maintaining operational effectiveness. She conducted individual meetings with affected employees, explaining the strategic rationale for structural modifications while addressing concerns about role changes and reporting relationships. Victoria's individual meeting with Maya took place in the senior vice president's office, creating a formal professional interaction that highlighted their dramatically altered circumstances. Victoria addressed Maya as Senior Vice President Chen while discussing her evolving responsibilities within the integrated operations framework. I want to ensure that I understand the expectations for my new coordination role, Victoria said with careful professionalism. The integration of marketing strategy with business development activities represents a significant operational change that will require learning new collaborative methodologies. Maya appreciated Victoria's professional approach to their formal reporting relationship. Despite the personal complexity of their family history, Victoria demonstrated respect for organizational hierarchy and commitment to contributing effectively within the restructured operations framework.
Your experience with healthcare provider relationships provides valuable insights for refining our integration strategies, Maya replied with executive authority. I expect you to maintain your current relationship management excellence while developing expertise in collaborative campaign implementation. Regular feedback sessions will ensure alignment with Innovation Lab methodologies. The conversation established clear expectations for Victoria's performance while acknowledging her professional strengths and growth opportunities. Maya's management style reflected executive maturity that prioritized organizational success over personal dynamics, demonstrating leadership capabilities that justified her rapid career advancement. Victoria's performance under Maya's direct supervision continued to exceed expectations as she adapted to expanded responsibilities within the integrated operations framework. Her healthcare provider relationships proved invaluable for testing and refining marketing strategies, while her collaborative skills contributed to seamless coordination between previously separate divisions. Maya recognized Victoria's contributions through formal performance evaluations that documented her professional growth and strategic value to Pinnacle's operations. The positive assessments reflected objective evaluation of Victoria's work quality rather than family favoritism, maintaining the professional integrity that characterized Maya's leadership approach. 6 months after Maya's promotion to senior vice president, Pinnacle announced record quarterly earnings that exceeded analyst projections by substantial margins. The earnings report credited integrated marketing and business development operations as a primary driver of improved performance, specifically highlighting the innovative collaborative methodologies pioneered by the senior leadership team. Maya's strategic vision had transformed Pinnacle's approach to market engagement while establishing the pharmaceutical company as an industry leader in authentic health communication. The success attracted attention from competitors and industry observers who recognized that Pinnacle's innovative operations could reshape pharmaceutical marketing across the entire sector. The remarkable turnaround from the company's previous struggles with sales division scandals to industry-leading performance represented one of the most impressive corporate transformations in recent pharmaceutical history. Maya's leadership had been instrumental in developing and implementing the strategic changes that enabled this exceptional recovery and growth. Industry recognition of Maya's achievements continued expanding as pharmaceutical trade associations extended invitations for keynote presentations at major conferences. Her expertise in integrated marketing operations and authentic health communication positioned her as a thought leader whose insights influenced strategic planning at competing pharmaceutical companies. Maya's professional reputation transcended the pharmaceutical industry as business publications featured profiles describing her innovative leadership approach and exceptional career advancement. Harvard Business Review published a case study analyzing Pinnacle's transformation under Maya's strategic direction, using the company's success as a model for authentic corporate communication in crisis recovery. The external recognition enhanced Maya's value within Pinnacle while creating opportunities for future career advancement either within the pharmaceutical company or at other major healthcare organizations. Executive recruitment firms regularly contacted her about chief marketing officer positions at Fortune 500 companies seeking leaders with proven track records of transformational success.
Maya was evaluating these external opportunities when Patricia Hendricks announced her intention to retire 18 months earlier than previously planned. The unexpected timeline created an opportunity for Maya to advance to Chief Marketing Officer at Pinnacle, assuming executive responsibility for all marketing, communications, and business development operations. The CMO position would establish Maya as a member of Pinnacle's senior executive team, reporting directly to the CEO, with authority over approximately 200 employees and annual budgets exceeding $50 million. At 30 years old, she would become one of the youngest chief marketing officers in pharmaceutical industry history. Patricia personally recommended Maya for the CMO position during discussions with Pinnacle's board of directors, citing her exceptional strategic leadership and transformational impact on company performance. The board unanimously approved Maya's appointment, recognizing that her innovative approach to pharmaceutical marketing had been crucial to Pinnacle's remarkable recovery and growth. The announcement of Maya's appointment as Chief Marketing Officer generated widespread attention within the pharmaceutical industry and broader business community. Forbes featured her on their 30 Under 30 list in the healthcare category, describing her career trajectory as exemplifying innovative leadership in corporate America. Maya's new executive office occupied the senior leadership floor with panoramic views of Seattle's skyline and Puget Sound. The space reflected her position among Pinnacle's highest-ranking executives while providing the professional environment necessary for managing complex pharmaceutical marketing operations and strategic planning initiatives. Victoria learned about Maya's CMO appointment through the same company-wide announcement that reached all Pinnacle employees, but the organizational implications were particularly significant for her career trajectory. As Chief Marketing Officer, Maya now held authority over all business development operations, making Victoria's professional success directly dependent on her younger sister's executive decisions. The complete reversal of their family dynamic was now institutionalized at the highest levels of a major pharmaceutical company. Maya had evolved from the sister earning housekeeper money to a C-suite executive controlling budgets that exceeded Victoria's lifetime earnings. Victoria had transformed from the successful regional sales manager to a coordinator whose career advancement depended entirely on Maya's professional judgment. Maya's first senior executive team meeting as Chief Marketing Officer took place in Pinnacle's boardroom, where she joined the CEO and 7 other C-suite executives to discuss strategic planning and operational coordination. Her presence at this decision-making level represented the culmination of a remarkable career advancement that had begun with humiliation at a family dinner less than 3 years earlier. During the meeting, Maya presented her comprehensive vision for Pinnacle's future marketing operations, outlining strategies that would maintain the company's industry leadership while expanding into emerging therapeutic areas and international markets. Her strategic thinking demonstrated executive maturity that justified the board's confidence in her ability to succeed at the highest organizational levels. The CEO and senior executive team endorsed Maya's strategic vision while authorizing additional resources for implementing expanded operations across global markets. The approval represented validation of her leadership capabilities and recognition that her innovative approach to pharmaceutical marketing could drive continued growth and industry leadership. Maya's authority as Chief Marketing Officer extended to all aspects of Pinnacle's marketing engagement, including oversight of the business development operations, where Victoria worked as a coordination specialist. This comprehensive authority meant that Victoria's daily work activities, performance evaluations, and career advancement opportunities were now directly controlled by her younger sister. The complete reversal of their family dynamic was now institutionalized at the highest levels of a major pharmaceutical company. Maya had evolved from the sister earning housekeeper money to a C-suite executive controlling budgets that exceeded Victoria's lifetime earnings. Victoria had transformed from the successful regional sales manager to a coordinator whose career advancement depended entirely on Maya's professional judgment. Maya's first senior executive team meeting as Chief Marketing Officer took place in Pinnacle's boardroom, where she joined the CEO and 7 other C-suite executives to discuss strategic planning and operational coordination. Her presence at this decision-making level represented the culmination of a remarkable career advancement that had begun with humiliation at a family dinner less than 3 years earlier. During the meeting, Maya presented her comprehensive vision for Pinnacle's future marketing operations, outlining strategies that would maintain the company's industry leadership while expanding into emerging therapeutic areas and international markets. Her strategic thinking demonstrated executive maturity that justified the board's confidence in her ability to succeed at the highest organizational levels. The CEO and senior executive team endorsed Maya's strategic vision while authorizing additional resources for implementing expanded operations across global markets. The approval represented validation of her leadership capabilities and recognition that her innovative approach to pharmaceutical marketing could drive continued growth and industry leadership. Maya's authority as Chief Marketing Officer extended to all aspects of Pinnacle's marketing engagement, including oversight of the business development operations where Victoria worked as a coordination specialist. This comprehensive authority meant that Victoria's daily work activities, performance evaluations, and career advancement opportunities were now directly controlled by her younger sister. The sisters' professional relationship had evolved into a formal corporate hierarchy that reflected their completely transformed circumstances. Maya exercised executive authority over strategic decisions that affected Victoria's career, while Victoria contributed to operational success under Maya's organizational leadership. Their family dynamic had been permanently altered by the remarkable reversal of their professional trajectories. Maya approached her CMO responsibilities with the same strategic methodology that had characterized her previous leadership roles. She studied executive management theory, consulted with experienced pharmaceutical leaders, and developed systematic approaches to organizational leadership that would enable continued growth and industry recognition. Her goal was establishing Pinnacle as the definitive leader in authentic pharmaceutical communication, while building her own reputation as one of the industry's most innovative and effective marketing executives. The success would validate her career advancement while creating opportunities for future executive positions at even larger healthcare organizations. Victoria's continued performance under Maya's ultimate authority remained consistently excellent as she adapted to the evolving operational requirements of integrated marketing and business development. Her healthcare provider relationships continued providing valuable market insights, while her collaborative skills contributed.
Maya's strategic leadership had transformed Pinnacle from a pharmaceutical company struggling with public relations crises to an industry leader recognized for innovative communication and exceptional business performance. The remarkable turnaround represented one of the most impressive corporate transformations in recent business history, establishing Maya's reputation as a transformational marketing executive. Industry observers credited Maya's authentic approach to health communication and innovative integration strategies with creating sustainable competitive advantages that positioned Pinnacle for continued growth and market leadership. Her executive leadership had exceeded every expectation while establishing new standards for pharmaceutical marketing effectiveness. The success created opportunities for Maya to influence pharmaceutical industry standards through participation in trade association leadership roles and regulatory advisory committees. Her expertise in authentic health communication positioned her as a thought leader whose insights shaped strategic planning at competing companies and industry regulatory policies. Maya was considering expanded industry leadership opportunities when she received an unexpected personal email from Victoria expressing gratitude for the professional mentorship and career development opportunities Maya had provided during their collaborative work at Pinnacle. The message acknowledged Maya's exceptional leadership while recognizing the personal growth that had characterized their transformed relationship. The email represented closure for the family conflicts that had originated with Victoria's cruel laughter at Rosewood Country Club 3 years earlier. Both sisters had evolved beyond their previous limitations while developing mutual respect based on professional competence and personal maturity, rather than family hierarchy or childhood dynamics. Maya's journey from family humiliation to executive leadership demonstrated that professional potential isn't determined by others' perceptions or initial circumstances. Her success had been achieved through strategic thinking, innovative leadership, and determination to exceed expectations regardless of external limitations or discouragement. The sister who had once mocked Maya's salary now depended on Maya's executive decisions for her own career advancement and professional success. But the true victory wasn't Victoria's diminished status. It was Maya's recognition of her own capabilities and determination to achieve executive leadership through excellence rather than family approval,
Maya had learned that authentic success comes from pursuing professional potential with integrity and strategic focus rather than seeking validation from others who may lack vision or understanding. Her remarkable career advancement validated the decision to prioritize personal growth over family dynamics, while demonstrating that exceptional leadership can emerge from even the most discouraging circumstances. The transformation from humiliation to executive authority represented more than professional advancement. It demonstrated the power of strategic thinking, innovative leadership, and unwavering commitment to excellence in creating opportunities that exceed even the most ambitious expectations. 2 years had passed since Maya's appointment as Chief Marketing Officer, and Pinnacle Pharmaceuticals had become the most respected name in authentic health communication. Maya's innovative leadership had transformed not just one company, but influenced an entire industry toward transparency and genuine patient engagement. The annual Pharmaceutical Industry Awards ceremony took place at the Grand Hyatt in downtown Seattle, with Maya receiving the Healthcare Marketing Executive of the Year award. At 32, she had achieved recognition that typically required decades of experience and industry connections. Her acceptance speech emphasized the importance of authentic communication and strategic collaboration in building trust between healthcare companies and the communities they serve. Victoria watched from the audience as her younger sister addressed 500 industry leaders with the confidence of someone who had earned their respect through exceptional results. The woman on stage bore little resemblance to the struggling marketing coordinator who had once saved for months to afford diamond earrings. Maya had evolved into an executive whose strategic vision shaped pharmaceutical communication standards across the global market. After the ceremony, Victoria approached Maya at the reception with genuine admiration, replacing the competitive dynamics that had once defined their relationship. The conversation was brief but meaningful, representing the complete transformation of their family dynamic from bitter rivalry to mutual professional respect. "I owe you an apology," Victoria said quietly. "That night at Rosewood Country Club, I said things that were cruel and completely wrong about your potential. You've achieved something extraordinary, and I'm proud to work for someone with your integrity and vision." Maya smiled with the kind of grace that comes from genuine confidence rather than defensive pride. "We've both grown beyond who we used to be. Your contributions to the integrated operations have been valuable, and I appreciate your professionalism in adapting to our working relationship." The exchange marked the final resolution of conflicts that had originated years earlier with cruel laughter and public humiliation. Both sisters had evolved beyond their previous limitations, with Maya achieving executive leadership, while Victoria had developed respect for capabilities she had never previously recognized or acknowledged. Maya's success story became a case study taught in business schools across the country, demonstrating how strategic thinking and innovative leadership could transform both individual careers and industry standards. Her journey from family disappointment to executive recognition proved that professional potential isn't determined by others' perceptions or initial circumstances. Her success had been achieved through genuine talent, innovative thinking, and unwavering commitment to excellence rather than luck, connections, or circumstances beyond her control. Family dynamics had shaped Maya's early experiences, but they hadn't defined her ultimate potential. Professional success had been achieved through genuine talent, innovative thinking, and unwavering commitment to excellence rather than luck, connections, or circumstances beyond her control. Maya's transformation from humiliation to executive authority represented more than professional advancement. It demonstrated the power of authentic leadership and strategic vision in creating opportunities that exceed even the most ambitious expectations. Sometimes the most painful confrontations become catalysts for the most meaningful growth. And sometimes the people who doubt us most provide the motivation necessary to discover capabilities we never knew we possessed. The laughter that had once hurt so deeply had ultimately become the sound of Maya's limitations breaking away, replaced by the applause of industry recognition and the quiet satisfaction of knowing she had achieved success through integrity, innovation, and determination to exceed every expectation placed before her. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.